Hello. You might not have noticed it about me yet, but I'm dead. All my sisters are too, actually. I mean, serves them right, granted they are wicked, but anyway, that's not important yet. This story is about me, and how I brought the most powerful group of rulers down with me. It may not sound pleasant, but I think you'll like it. And as with every great story, I think we should start off with a classic phrase. Once upon a time, there was a great and powerful kingdom.
The king of this land was the fairest and the most powerful ruler in all the world. He became so infamous that he was known as the Dragon, and his powerful kingdom, the Land of Fire. He was brave and formidable and never hesitated to turn a merciless eye to his enemies. But this king lacked something crucial to his empire's survival: an heir. He had searched for years and years for the most beautiful woman in all the land, and he found her. She was a sight to behold, and seemingly just as cruel as our wicked ruler. But the powerful and beautiful woman could not bear children. The kingdom would fall to pieces without an heir. Furious after a year without a child, the king sent his wife into exile, in a coal mine far below the earth, where the most condemned prisoners lived. The queen was never heard from again. Meanwhile, the king above set to work. He found himself 7 concubines, each more evil than the last, and had 7 daughters. They grew to be powerful, menacing rulers, each sister with their own form of terrifying poison. There was Envina, who was infamous for her ability to capture any piece of land she laid eyes on. If she saw it, she wanted it, and would let nothing stop her. Gradina, who was the richest sister of all, sucked every citizen of the kingdom dry in order to build herself an entire world of gold and jewels. She took every last penny from the poorest of the people, from the infants, the dying, the elderly, and felt no qualms about it. Next was Lestine. Like her father before her, she had a strong desire for the abundance of suitors and concubines. She was known to rip fathers away from their sick wives and hungry children, and even young men away from the arms of their siblings and parents. Pridina, the most vain and supercilious sister. She built herself a throne that stretched far into the sky. It was so high that it was shrouded in the clouds as if she were God himself. Pridina wore a veil over her head and had deemed everyone, even her own sisters, unworthy to gaze upon her face. Every week she required all the common folk of the kingdom to bow to her, blazing sun or freezing snow for 7 hours. Anyone who disobeyed was swiftly executed by the hand of her sister, Rethena. Rethena was the oldest and most terrifying out of all the sisters. She had a dark and abominable mind. She spent most of her time inventing new ways to torture her victims and held executions every day for those she deemed unholy. She set herself far above everyone, and much like Perdina, saw herself as God. And lastly, Slathena. She was so lazy and indolent that she had servants to carry around her for everything imaginable. Servants to feed her, servants to talk for her, to carry her everywhere, to make decisions for her. Everywhere Slathena went, there were at least 20 servants to wait outside her. And oh, you could not forget her sister Gluciella. She had such an insatiable appetite that she ate the entire kingdom into a famine at least twice a year, and she didn't stop at food. Gluciella's entire share of the kingdom was a farm. A human farm where she raised the fattest, most hardiest subjects. Every day she'd have fresh human to devour, cooked with the most expensive and extravagant expenses you can ever imagine. Sometimes, if she craved a snack, she would eat the nearest servant standing next to her right there and then. Each sister played a horrible part in the torment of the kingdom. The king, who was growing old by the time the kingdom was divided amongst his 7 daughters, had it in his mind to see his estranged queen. The years of evil doing had weighed on him, afflicting his body and mind greatly. He wanted to change things, but his daughters were way too powerful and wicked. So instead, he requested his wife be brought up from the underground as his last good deed. But the miners told him grave news. His wife had long ago passed. She had been unknowingly a few weeks pregnant when she was sent to the mines, and the birth of the child had been too much for her frail body. The contrite and despondent king left the mines with not his wife, but yet another daughter. From the moment he saw her, he could see that there was something different about this child. Unlike her sisters, this girl was sincere and pure of heart. She had no name and knew nothing of the kingdom, but she was a beautiful soul nonetheless. The king in his dying days took the girl back to his estate. He instilled in her empathy and good morals, all the things he regretted never having in his life. He believed her the hope of the torturous kingdom, and as he died, he named her Evangeline, meaning hope, the bringer of good tidings into the world. And that's where I come in. Father has just passed, and it's time for me to meet my sisters. To be honest, I am quite scared, but Father was counting on me. He so desperately wanted to right his wrongs, and it is my destiny to bring peace and salvation to this kingdom.
Hello, sisters. Who in the bloody hell are you?
You think you have the right to just walk into the presence of the most powerful women? No, the most powerful being in the world?
But
She does look rather appetizing. I ought to have her slow cooked alive for her transgressions. Fear does always make my meals feel all the world better.
move thyself from my holy presence at once.
Oh, come now, sisters. Punishing yet another citizen at such a terrible hour? It'll ruin dinner. Why don't we just detain her until tomorrow's execution?
I am your sister. This letter here is proof.
Let me see this. You lying little plebeian. This is interesting. This has Father's seal, and he only had access to this. And you came just when he said you would. Right when we're having our official meeting. Right then, it's settled. I, Rathleen, eldest of the 7 sisters, declare that Evangeline will start training with us. Tomorrow, 9 a.m. sharp. Don't be late. We hate late people. I will.
The shiny new child, huh? You think Father kept you as the prized little jewel? I was the favored one, not you, Evangeline. And if you ever try to take my spot as the beloved little sister, I will.
Ah, there you are. Come sit next to me. I was just about to preview my first catalog of photos. Bring in the first, please. No, not handsome enough. Send them to my sister's farm. Next. Definitely handsome. Bring him forward so I can get a better. Seems strong enough. Well, competent. I'll take him as new student. I shall name you Evangeline. What might you suggest I name my new boy? Well,
Your Majesty, please! I can't stay here! I need to get back home to my family. My intended. She's sick, and I need to take care of my mother and younger siblings. Please understand that my family needs me. I'm all they have.
Your family is none of my concern. I am the queen, and I am born. You will serve your kingdom with no complaint, and let it be your greatest joy. I do not care about your silly little betrothed or your incompetent family. You will serve me or meet a very painful demise. Isn't that right, Evangeline? I should be getting back to my studies. Thank you for your time, sister. The past 2 days have been quite overwhelming. I don't know if I'll ever be up to their standards, if I'll ever win the respect and approval of my sisters and the people of this kingdom, if I'm strong enough to change my sisters, strong enough to help these people, but I will give it my all. I've said this a million times, but I will do anything to please the kingdom, to please my father, and I won't stop until my very last breath. Evangeline, follow me. Oh, what's all this? My greatest pride and joy. You see, Evangeline, most of my time is spent collecting money owed to me from the citizens. I need it so I can make my outfits. Everything I wear is made out of gold. I can't possibly live without it. If I wear anything else, well, I think I'll just about die of poverty. I see.
You are late. I despise lateness. It is a sin.
I'm sorry. I truly didn't mean to.
Do not come any closer. I do not wish to be contaminated by the likes of you.
Yes, Bradina.
I have nothing to say to you but one thing. Although this unified court is strong, as individuals we are not equal. You must earn your rightful place here, as we all did, and prove to us that you are worthy of this court. We have already established among the line that we sisters are the 7 deadly sins. I find it quite hard to believe that anyone will accept an 8th. You are dismissed.
Bina, hi. Do you see this line? This is mine. And you better not think about taking what is mine. And Bina, I would never. We're family. Well, don't expect the same from me though. Because if I see it, then it is mine.
Munch, 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 lunch, 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 lunch.
Muriela, do be quiet. I need my hourly nap, and you are being dreadfully noisy.
You be quiet! I'm starving!
I'm sorry I'm late. I got lost.
There you are! I've been waiting a dreadfully long 5 minutes for you! At least you brought my refreshments. The best human blood of the harvest straight from my own farm. I made sure that the chef prepared with the most exquisite fashion. And today we will be taste testing some of my new recipes. Although I do not like sharing. But alas, you are my sister. Sit, sit.
Oh, and I'm supposed to show you my ways or whatever. But that seems like a dreadful amount of work. So I'll just let Julia do it, because I might.
Enough talk. Let's dig in.
These past few weeks have been really hard, but I think I impressed my sisters. They're all starting to see me as part of the family now. It's high time I start to persuade them to care about the kingdom a bit more. It's what Father sent me to do, and I have high hopes for them. So, Evangeline, this is your first official time attending our monthly court meeting. What do you think of the Great Kingdom?
Oh, I'm sure she thinks it's splendid. I shall take you to the farm with me tomorrow and have you select the fattest prey. And later you can help me design another execution contraption that stores the blood into glass chandeliers. And I'd love if you come with me to pick up new servants in the village. Oh, it is such indeed a great bother to deal with such things. I appreciate that you all have truly taken me as your sister here, and the kingdom is quite beautiful, but you nothing, Evangeline. Look how ungrateful and spoiled she is, and all you just dote on her daily and give her the attention that ought to be mine. Oh, come now, Avina, don't envy your little sister so. Now, on a more cheerful note, Evangeline, you remember that dashing new suitor you helped me select? Well, it turns out his little brother was only a year younger than him. I've sent guards to the village he resides to fetch him, and he should be in my very arms as early as next week. Don't you think maybe we should care about the kingdom more? I mean, that man said his family needs him, and Lestine, I'm sure you can find another suitor. And Gradina, maybe you can send his family a little money from your storehouse's compensation. Maybe Slavena can lend them one of her servants. All my years, I have never heard such heresy spoken against the kingdom. But you, Evangeline, stand in my dining hall, in my court. After I tuck you in and tear it down in all but a day. You are lucky that I respect our great father who is now in his grave. Lucky that this court believes in actions instead of words, because you would have been slaughtered this very day. You are new to this court, and ignorance is to blame. But I warn you, girl, if you ever speak in such a manner again, I will make you rue the day you were born. Now, get out! Right then, I was only trying to get out! Yes, sister. It's getting harder and harder to see myself accomplishing my goal. What if I only cause more ruin to everything around me? I feel as if I'm a small ship being swallowed up by the dark waves. I know this is what Father wants, but I simply can't do it. This is the way my sisters have been raised, and it was by his own hand. Who am I to come up and upend everything they've ever known? I can only rest in the comfort that I now have a family, one that will come to accept me if I work for a bit, and work I must. After that night, I became a changed woman. I established myself as the 8th sister Sin. I was resolved to be cold and cruel. My sisters appointed me with a very important task, to be the judge of this kingdom, and I was resolved to rule as wickedly as possible and with all my might.
All rise for Her Majesty Evangeline the 8th Sin.
You may be seated. Bring in the first prisoner. And what is your transgression against the kingdom?
Theft, my lord. My daughter is sick, and I stole a cloak from the royal wardrobe to keep her warm this winter.
And not an ounce of shame in you. How remarkable. You will meet the wrath of my eldest sister at your execution tomorrow. Go home and say your goodbyes. For your unbridled tongue, yours will be a slow and painful death. Dismissed.
I am surprised, Your Majesty. I come from the underground mines, where you were raised. There I heard great stories about a lone ruler who would bring good to this kingdom. I must say, I am disappointed.
Disappointed? Your disrespect has earned you not only the death of you, but also your child. Take her away, guards.
That woman has opened my eyes. I can barely begin to fathom what I have done. I didn't even realize the monster that I've become. I so badly wanted to meet everyone's standards, so badly wanted to please everyone, that in the process, I've become a part of this court of riches and ruin. I'm no better than the rest of them. Why have you put me in this position? Why have you abandoned me, Father? You're leaving me here. How will I survive without you?
You will be fine, dearest. You have this entire kingdom to your name. You have 7 sisters, who in due time will see the error of their ways and...
They are evil. You say I have a kingdom. You say I have sisters. Without you to tell me what to do with them, I have no one and nothing. I'm alone.
I am still here. Evangeline, my dear sweet daughter, I don't have much time, and that alone is my greatest regret. I was not a good man in the lifetime I was given. I was one of the most terrifying creatures to ever walk this earth. Cruel, selfish, greedy, foolish, hateful, and most of all, heartless. I'm not asking you to transform the world or right my wrongs. All I ask of you, my daughter, is for you to love. Your heart is pure, despite your hard life. Never forget that you are the light in this kingdom. It may be hard, it may frighten you, they may turn on you and threaten you, but never stop being good. You must guide your sisters out of the darkness. It is your destiny.
Father, please. Please. Wake up, please.
What's that? It's not time for the executions yet. Looks like they've started already. Well, let them revel outside like the filthy pigs they are. We will not sink to their standards by acknowledging their foolish gestures. Let us eat dinner as if this was but another normal council meeting. Yes, and let divine judgment be given where it is due. A toast to Evangeline. She has truly bloomed into the wicked and loyal leader we expected her. dear sister, I must admit, that was quite the manifesto you created. I'm sure you're glad to be known as the people's princess. Now are you? What? Anvina, surely this means a mistake. Oh, don't be so humble. I'm your biggest fan. Original copies and everything. There will be no solace nor mercy. We all know. If it wasn't for the poison running through your veins right now, I'd carve you up and eat you. Poison? This is what you rightfully deserve, as sister. You are not one of us, and you never will be. You were never worthy. You were Father's greatest mistake. It's too late. You can kill me and destroy my remains, but hang them up for all the world to see, but it's too late. I have given them hope. Every citizen in this kingdom has read the pamphlet from the guards who you were so sure held deep loyalty to the minds under your feet. You thought they had been imprisoned for good. I've spent weeks delivering these, and now you can kill me all you want, but it's too late. Their strength in their numbers. Father, I have fulfilled my purpose. Now that that's over, come now, sisters. We must deal with the impending situation at hand. I bet you're here wondering, is this the end? Is Evangeline really dead? Well, to answer that last question, yes, I am dead. Take one good look at my face. And as for the other, well, yes, but not quite. This story isn't one to close with a glorious bang or flashy snow lights. The ending is simple and balanced in justice. My sisters all died, of course. They were outnumbered by the people, and each of them met a fitting demise. So there you have it, an entire family line destroyed, a kingdom brought to its knees. You may count the apparent victory of the townsfolk as a contributor to a positive ending, but I'd politely disagree. You see, the people of this kingdom, having no experience or education whatsoever, died trapped in the confines of the castle in the revolt. The ones who escaped drove themselves into famine and died of starvation. But why, you may ask? Why could not one good thing happen to anyone in this story? Well now, you knew this was a tragedy, didn't you?